Closed captioning for great tastes is presented by Manitoba Chicken Producers, your online source for yum. Manitoba Liquor Mart presents Great Tastes of Manitoba. Great Tastes is brought to you by GreatTastesMB.ca. Great Tastes is sponsored by Manitoba Agriculture, Food and Rural Development.
Hello and welcome to Great Tastes of Manitoba. It's already smelling fantastic here at the Grand Park Liquor Mart Education Center, and we're feeding a crowd today. I do tend to panic a little bit when it comes to the crowds. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that because Karen Armstrong is here. Manitoba Chicken Producers, she is going to save us all. She's just missing the cape. We'll find one for you in a minute. We'll go over your recipes in just a second. Sheila Nash, product expert, Manitoba Liquor and Lotteries is here, and she's going to do some beverage pairings in just a little bit. But Karen, what do you have for us today?
We're doing a Mocha Java chicken chili.
Mocha Java chicken chili. Okay, sounds
yeah,
fun already.
Rolls
Good.
off the tongue.
Does indeed.
And then we're doing a Blue Moon chicken bite. It's an appetizer, or it could be a main course.
All right, you eat enough of the appetizer, it becomes a main course.
True.
Perfect. What are you thinking?
All kinds of things. I have to ask about the chili, of course, right away. I'm thinking spice, but you got some interesting ingredients in there.
There are a lot of ingredients in this chili, but no one ingredient stands out. It's not really spicy. It's just a real rich depth of flavor that I think you could probably find all kinds of interesting things to pair with.
Awesome.
Have some
okay,
fun.
I'll start thinking non-traditional. Thanks.
All right.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Now, off we go, Karen. What do you have happening?
All right, well, I've started some traditional chili ingredients. We've got ground chicken. There's boneless, skinless chicken thighs in here. Some onion, locally grown peak of the market onion, and garlic.
So what's with the two kinds of chicken?
Just a couple of things. One, the boneless, skinless chicken gives a little bit more texture, so you get a little bit more chunky to your chili. And the dark meat has a really wonderful, rich chicken flavor. So again, it's just building on those flavors.
Okay.
So basically just browned everything off, and now we can start adding some of our other ingredients.
Oh, there's so much. So where do we start? Because there's just so much happening
Well,
here.
like I said to Sheila, there's a lot of ingredients in here. So let's start with some of our liquid ingredients.
How can I help?
So I'll get you to start pouring. We've got chicken stock, so that goes in there.
I love the little jars, by the way.
Oh, thank you. And that's diced canned tomatoes. Can go in there.
Okay.
Now we've got tomato paste to go. Yeah. That's a couple of cans of tomato paste, and that's going to really intensify the tomato flavor, as well as act as a bit of a thickener.
So 2 cans?
2 cans of tomato paste.
That is pretty intense.
Yes, that's a lot of, yeah. You do want to use a big pot for this, because otherwise you're going to run into problems with things not fitting.
I always pick a pot too small, and then I end up having to move it over to a larger pot.
Exactly. That's
we want this?
Yes, that's about a half a cup of water.
Okay.
Again, just to get some of that tomato paste stirred up a little bit. I'm using a Dutch oven. They come in all kinds of different sizes. You could use a stock pot. Stock pots tend to be a little bit taller, but it'll certainly work if that's what you've got at home.
Okay.
All right, so that's our liquid ingredients in there. Let's go to some of our seasonings. So again, this is where we're building lots and lots of flavor.
Are we ever? It's almost like, you know, it's like blindfolded and you're just picking things out of your cupboard. I know that's not what we've done, but there's just so much diversity here.
Exactly. So typical ingredient, chili powder.
Gotta have the chili powder.
Gotta have the chili powder. So that's going in there. I'll give you the stirring honors.
I have the stirring stick.
There you go. And this is cumin seed.
See, I thought it was caraway, and I thought, well, that's really interesting.
That would be very different.
So why not just regular powdered cumin?
Just a difference in flavor.
Okay.
And because this is something that cooks for about an hour, Whole spices work really, really well.
All right.
Because you don't need that instant hit of flavor.
Okay.
All right,
Makes
so
sense.
that goes in there. Then I've got some cayenne, some oregano, some coriander, and of course a little bit of salt. That all goes in.
And again, I guess you can kind of fool around with some of the spices a little bit, bump some of
definitely.
them up, dial some of it back,
Exactly.
depending on who you're feeding.
That's right. I mean, certainly if you like more heat, more in the cayenne, more in the chili powder. Make sure that your chili powder is fresh, though. If your chili powder, any of your spices really, have been in the cupboard for a year, or we're not really sure when
So my
we bought
package
it,
from 1987 is probably not
probably
cutting
not,
it anymore.
No, no.
All right.
So make
Lesson
sure
learned.
your herbs and spices are fresh. I'm adding brown sugar.
This is good.
Yes, this does not create the sweetness that you might think.
What does it do?
It acts as a sort of a counterpoint to the acidity of the tomato paste.
Okay.
Again, just balancing everything
Yeah.
out. All right, so right now we've basically got a typical chili. There's nothing in here that's that unusual. Now we're going to the unusual ingredients, again, that are just gonna add to those layers of flavor. Cocoa.
Right. Now, what is it about chocolate and chili that works? I don't know that chocolatey.
It just works beautifully. So I'm gonna put in my cocoa powder. So you can just keep stirring there.
Okay, I can't wait to smell this because that's really adding something a bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
This is cocoa or chocolate is sort of the basis of Mexican mole.
Right.
And that all kinds of interesting seasonings go into a mole very similar to this. All right,
Okay.
next thing that we're gonna add. This is strong coffee.
Just instant coffee or
You
any
could
old
use
kind of coffee?
instant if you happen to brew really strong coffee.
A brew will do.
A brew will do. If you've got leftovers, that's certainly okay.
Well, speaking of brew, we're not even waiting for Sheila because we've got some, do we not have some?
That's right.
Some
Yes.
beer?
So we've covered the mocha, we've covered the java.
Yeah.
But we're just going to add a little bit more flavor with some dark beer. This
All
is
right.
basically a bottle of dark beer, whatever kind of dark beer you like. This one happens to have a little bit of a cocoa and a coffee note to it.
Okay.
Again, it's all about layering those flavors. And again, because this cooks for about an hour,
All the alcohol gets burned
all
off.
the alcohol gets burned off, and I'm going to actually turn this up because we want this to come to a boil.
All right.
We're not done yet.
No?
Wait, there's more.
Oh my gosh. Now what?
We've got, again, typical chili ingredients. We've got kidney beans.
Gotta have it.
You want to make sure that you have rinsed these really well for a couple of reasons. It gets rid of the salt in the canned beans. It also gets rid of a lot of the starch that can sometimes cause tummy upsets.
Can I pop them in there?
Pop them in there. And finally, I've got chopped jalapeno pepper.
Tra-la.
Exactly.
Absolutely
I've taken the
beautiful.
seeds out of the jalapeno just so that you're not getting too much extra spice in
That
there.
heat in there.
So there we go.
We've got our chili, and it's a beautiful thing. When we come back, though, Blue Moon Chicken Bites here on Great Tastes of Manitoba.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by GreatTastesMB.ca.